When most people overhand shuffle the deck, the bottom cards are usually the first cards to disappear, and that's exactly what your audience expects. But what if you could shuffle the deck and still keep the entire bottom stack perfectly intact? Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you two easy methods to control and retain that bottom stock. So we're going to have the 4 7s on the bottom here, and we're going to do that while we're using an overhand shuffle. And this isn't about luck or casual shuffling. It's about building real control over your deck so you can set up incredible reveals, false shuffles, and even stacked tricks. Let me show you what it looks like in real time here, and I've stacked a few key cards on the bottom. We have the 4 7s on the bottom of the deck here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to perform 3 casual shuffles here, and I'm not going to try to do any weird movements or any fancy finger breaks that you need to know about or anything like that. And I want to show you what it's going to look like to the audience before we actually explain it. And to the audience, hopefully it's going to look like a fair shuffle, but we've just retained full control of these 7s at the bottom. So let's go through that quick. What we're going to do is we're going to take the cards, we're going to shuffle them off. Okay, that's method number 1. And then we got method number 2. Okay. Okay, so that's the 2 different methods. And let's go through this now, and let's explain to you exactly how we did those. And remember, the secret for option number 1 now is that it should feel familiar, because if you've been following along Card Magic Journey, because we've done this technique in the past here just a few videos ago. But what we're going to do is we're going to grip the deck in our dominant hand and beginning up for our overhand shuffle here. And what we're going to do is we're going to run a few of the top cards. So that was a earlier video that we did, running the cards. And then we're just going to throw off a bunch of cards like we're doing the overhand shuffle. We're going to in-jog 1 card and then throw the rest on top. We're going to overcut that in-jog and just overhand shuffle the cards off now. So what happened is we retained all 4 7s here. So let's go through a little bit slower with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a few cards, 3, 4, 5 cards, doesn't matter. And what that does is it helps throw them off a little bit, like, we're trying to control the top of the deck, or just make it, different cadence or different frequency, if you will. And then we'll run off a bunch of cards. And then what we're going to do is we're going to in-jog the cards. So we're going to have it come off the back of the deck here a little bit, and you can see it in the side camera. And then all we're going to do is we're going to throw the rest of the deck on top. Remember that in-jogged card here? We're just going to place the first crease of our thumb over the top, pull that card down a little bit, so that way we can slide it back in and square it back up. And we can pinch it between the middle finger and the thumb here. Remember, keep pressure with your ring finger. And we're just going to shuffle it off. Okay? And what that did is it brought those 7s from where it was back down to the bottom of the deck. It's pretty straightforward. It's very deceptive when it's performed smoothly. You might ask yourself, should you use option number 1 or option number 2? Remember that option 1 is for larger stocks of cards, anywhere between that 5 to 10 card range. Option 2, which we're going to show you in a little bit, is quicker and it's cleaner. And you only use that when you keep, let's say, the bottom 2 to 4 cards or somewhere around there. But let's talk about option number 2 now. Again, we're going to start in our overhand position, overhand shuffle position, like normal. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our ring finger now and just throw it on top of the end of the deck. So when I come in to grab a selection of cards, whether it's the top 8/10 of the deck or the middle of the deck, it does not matter. When you reach in with this overhand, that hides that ring finger coming over the back of stock here. So we're just going to pull it out, just overhand shuffle it off. Okay, and I do that 2 times so that way it looks like we're actually shuffling them. Again, those 7s are on the bottom, so we're just going to pull or put our ring finger around the end there, pull a bunch of cards out, and we're going to overhand shuffle it off. Maybe you're thinking, what happens if my bottom stock accidentally gets pulled into the shuffle? That's a great question, and it does happen. And if it does happen, just square the deck, okay? Take a breather, and either reset the stack or pivot to another control if your trick allows you to pivot to another control. Remember, if you don't panic, the audience probably won't notice. So make sure that you stay calm. Don't sweat it out, and over time, you're going to be able to come up with different little tactics, tricks, techniques that you can use to help cover in situations like that. But for now, just calm and be relaxed. A pro tip for both options, both methods rely on one thing above all, and that's natural rhythm. Which leads to another question that you might have. How can I make that shuffle look more natural, more casual under pressure? And the big thing here again is just keeping those hands relaxed. I notice that as the more I'm doing this now, the more practice I'm getting, the more my hands are relaxed, the smoother and the more rhythmic that overhand shuffle is becoming. The more you grip, the more the cards get thrown around, and it's harder to get that it's harder to get that overhand shuffle going. So just keep it nice and relaxed. Don't stress it out, and just keep it rhythmic. Another thing you could do, for that same question is just keep your gaze loose. I'm looking at the audience, but I'm also, my peripheral is looking down a little bit towards the deck. You can practice until this move becomes boring. And this is something you can do while you're watching television. We'll get into the practice routine in just a little bit. You might also ask, is this technique reliable enough to use in a group performance? And the answer is obviously yes, if it's practiced properly. But make sure you start the casual performances for your friends. And once it feels second nature, then you're starting to work your repertoire and start getting more into the public in that. Practice routine for this is going to be 5 overhand shuffles. So you go through, you overhand shuffle 5 different sets here. And then you're going to control the top card to the bottom, okay? And then bring it back to the top of the deck. And that's option number 1. We can go option number 2 as well, where we throw that thumb break in. And again, both of these are be done for 5 sets. So option 1 for 5 sets, option 2 for 5 sets. And then we're going to do the overhand shuffle control. Remember that one was run 3 cards, in jog, throw everything off, undercut, run 4 cards, okay, and in jog, and then throw everything on top, undercut, and then your card comes back to top. So that's 5 times that you could do that overhand shuffle control. And then you're going to do the top stock option, number 1 and number 2 for 5 sets. So remember that was the in jog, shuffle off and throw up. That way you retain that top stock. Or you can do the 1, 2, 3, 4 in jog, shuffle off, and retain this top stock that way as well. You can also do the 2 card bottom stack control, and remember that's just pulling with that ring finger, shuffling off. You could do a 5 card, so that way you can either do the ring finger and shuffle off, or you could do the option number 1 that we had done, where you shuffle off, do an in jog, throw it on top, overcut, and then throw everything on top there. But after each shuffle, what you can do is make sure that you glance whatever card you're trying to control, or whatever group of cards that you're trying to control to check for accuracy. Also make sure that your focus is on the fluidity. Make sure that you have that relaxed movement, and you're not working on speed, you're working on rhythm right now, and speed will come the more consistent and the better that you get at doing this card magic. Remember, we're going to do this 1 to 3 times a day also. This is one of those basic moves that turns a basic shuffle into a powerful deceptive tool. And now that you're able to shuffle the deck confidently, knowing your key cards are exactly where they need to be, even when it looks like they're lost inside the deck, You know, this is what it's all about. This is what card magic is all about. But if you want to take it further here, make sure you tap on that playlist right here to the right hand side to learn different things that you can do with the overhand shuffle. And you can also click on the playlist to the left side here, and that'll take you along on my card magic journey, every video from the beginning up to where we're at right now. And you follow that, it's going to be able to help you level up and control your game even more. My name is Joe. This is my card magic journey. Let's make it yours too.